Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? Episode number 439. Drink It Till You podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your weekend? Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all the fathers out there. I've had a couple of shots of rum, just winding down the weekend here. I'm about to crack open my Stella, so that's what I'll be drinking for this episode. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right. FIFA. I don't know if I've ever talked about the World Cup on this podcast until this year. Tons of games going on. USA played Friday. That was a welcome surprise. I thought they were playing like in a week from now. I didn't realize they're playing so soon. So we'll go over some of the scores here. It's been great. Seeing a lot of positive feedback online from, foreigners being over here and just having the time of their life. Just appreciating how much we're appreciating soccer and just the atmosphere. I mean, those stadiums, dude, they're packed. Which is pretty cool to see, like you get 80,000 people in one stadium chanting. It's a pretty powerful thing, There was a little bit of drama. I don't know exactly what happened. I just know the gist of it. Here in Dallas, there is a place called the Londoner. And, I guess, some people, actually from England, were in there getting rowdy and I guess got kicked out is the version that I heard. But they showed up and, were just drinking their faces off. You know what I mean? And got a little too rowdy, so the police had to be called and kicked them out of there. I don't know how the police determined if you should leave or not, though. Like, if you have an accent, you have to go. That seems a little discriminatory. You know what I mean? I don't know how they deciphered, who was supposed to leave and who could stay. I mean, if you weren't part of the English crowd that were causing trouble, and they weren't doing anything bad. They were just being rowdy and loud. You know what I mean? At least from what I know. I don't know. Maybe somebody got in a fight or something. Who knows? But how did they distinguish which people should leave and which people... maybe they just shut the whole thing down, the Londoner? I don't really know. The last place I knew... I don't even know where the Londoner is anymore, to be honest. The last place I remember seeing it is over in Rockwall. I don't know if that one's still there. I think that's the one that shut down. But apparently there's one somewhere. People got rowdy. They got kicked out. Police got called. Some people bitching about it online, which I kind of get, like if they're not breaking the law. And it's kind of on the Londoner too, isn't it? If they're over serving people and they're becoming belligerent. Dude, they were there like all day. From open to pretty much close until the police were called, from what I heard. So, that's kind of funny. That's kind of a cool story. You can go back home saying we partied too hard for Americans, That's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, honestly, that's all I've really been seeing is a lot of positive feedback. Not only on the atmosphere, but like our food. People are trying the food for the first time, like they're going to these barbecue joints. And, just trying different stuff, and they're just like, the portion sizes are just ridiculous. And I've always heard this before, that a large here does not exist anywhere else in the world. Like, what we call a large is like overly large. And people are just like, this lady was holding this plate of nachos, and she's like, this is so heavy. Like, the whole plate is so heavy because the nachos were just towered on the plate. And it's like, you guys shouldn't be surprised that the food tastes so good here and it's so plentiful. Our larges are like 3 times your larges. I mean, why do you think we're so fat? You know what I mean? Like, that's how they get us. They get us with the flavor. You know? And then you give me a mound of it. Yeah, I'm going to eat the whole thing every time. You can even try, like, healthy. I remember I used to try, like, healthy choices, but still doing, like, nachos. I'm like, well, I'm going to throw some extra veggies on there, thinking it's going to balance it out. It doesn't. You're still going to get fucking fat as shit if you keep eating that way. So, I mean, there shouldn't be a lot of surprise. You know, you kind of knew our portions were giant. Maybe you just didn't realize, like, actually how giant and how good everything tastes. Like, I remember this one video where these 2 guys, I'm just going to assume they're from England. I don't know. They had English accents. But they showed up to this barbecue place, and the owner, like, came out because one of the dudes had, like, a fork and a knife trying to, like, cut into the ribs, and he was like, no, put that down. And he made him eat it with his hands. And I mean, if you're doing ribs right, they just fall off the bone. So yeah, you don't need a fork, you don't need a knife. And just the look on their faces, dude, like, you can see the instant, like, crack. Like, I just tried crack for the first time. Like, you know that scene in, like, what's the Finding Nemo, where the sharks all, like, cool at first, you know, and then, you know, there's a little bit of blood, somebody gets hurt, there's a little bit of blood in the water, and the shark smells the blood, and his pupils, like, dilate, and then he becomes, like, enraged. That's exactly, like, you can see that moment after they took a bite of those ribs, of how they're just like, it just falls out. They couldn't even speak. And then once they were finally describing it, it was like, yeah, this just falls right off the bone. I didn't need a fork. I didn't need anything. This is so good. Yeah, that's how they get us. You know, the only thing that's, like, counteracting how delicious the food is here is the fact that it's getting so damn expensive. It's like that part alone will make you not want to eat it. But most of you guys are on vacation anyway, so it's like you're going to spend the extra money. You've saved the extra money to go watch the game, to go support your team, and to eat while you're here. Yeah, live it up. I have not experienced any of the, other than sitting on my couch, you know, watching the TV. I have not experienced any of the World Cup, which is kind of a shame. I would like to get out and about. I might actually do that this week while there's still games going on. But what I really want to go to, and I feel so bad saying this, you guys know I'm like a diehard Texas Rangers fan, and I've never been to the new stadium, and I've never been to that Texas Live out there. I feel so much shame for not having gone out there, but this is what people are doing. People from, not even from this country, have visited Texas Live, and I still haven't. It's kind of sad, and they're having a blast. I'm watching all the videos. I'm like, dude, that's like right up the street from me. I can't drive 45 minutes to, like, make it out there for. I've seen all these, what is it, where they try to, like, immerse you in the game too. I don't know the name for that. There's a couple of restaurants that are doing that now, to where you, like, walk into it feels like you're sitting in the game. This guy went through this whole thing. He was like, this is where it ends. This is where people stop sitting, but it looks like we're sitting in the stadium. It looks like we're on the second tier, and then down below us you see more people, but those aren't actual people, but it's like surrounding you. So you're just sitting there eating in a restaurant, actually, but all your eyes can see is it thinks you're at the game. I mean, that's next best thing, you know, in my opinion. That's pretty badass. I'd love to go see something like that. Like in the Sphere. I know they do that in Vegas. They immerse you in it. It's just been a lot of fun, man. It's you know, and I feel like we're doing a good job of hosting. and we're doing a good job of, like, I'm saying, just like my friend said at work, this is probably the most soccer that I've watched in like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just all about it. I've got the fever. It's fun. It helps that, Team USA is winning. They beat Australia 2-0. And that felt good. I wish we could have got a couple more goals, but yeah, dude, we're looking competitive. I'll just say that. I don't want to get on my high horse. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to sit here and, beat my chest like we're going to win the whole thing, but it's fun. So far, so good. So let's go over a couple of scores. We're going to do this with MLB, too, because I just have no idea what's going on. I did watch the UFC event. That was a lot of fun. I'm not really going to talk about it. Though there were some really good fights. I really just kind of tuned in on the main card. And there were some really great fights. That main event was a really great fight. I didn't think it was going to turn out that way. I did not think, I keep wanting to call him Kane. It's Cape. Copy. I really didn't think he was going to win. But he pulled it out. I mean, he was getting, not getting his ass kicked, but he was not winning the fight, in my opinion, until he rocked the other dude, and it was all over. But another Herb Dean thing. Well, I guess we'll talk a little UFC. Another Herb Dean thing going on. He reffed another fight. There's some more controversy, I guess, and people are actually pulling up his history and just like, he's the worst ref there is, and did all this and that. And Herb Dean's coming out with his own videos showing the legal striking, parts of the head. He taped it off on his buddy's head to show what he's looking for, which is cool. And now I hear Pajeda is like wanting to sue and make it I'm like, dude, this is a fucking circus all of a sudden. And I really didn't think Pajeda would go this far. In my opinion, just not a good look. And I'm no UFC fighter, so who am I to tell Pajeda how he should react to it? I'm sure he's pissed. He felt like some illegal shit happened, but my opinion, my advice would be to do your second fight with the dude and don't ever let him get in a position to where he can hit you in the back of the head. I don't know. If he rocks you again in the second fight, your chances greatly increase. So, I don't know. Maybe Pajeda was hurt going into the fight, but I don't know. Maybe not too, because it just seems like he's pursuing this thing. And I can't, dude, honestly, I can't tell what's fucking AI anymore. So this could all be fake. I really don't know. I can't tell. It's getting too good. I don't know what's real anymore. That's kind of the problem. Anyways, let's go ahead and have another drink. We'll keep moving on soccer. Cheers, everybody. Oh, and come to find out, people have been making fun of us pretty much forever. That we call it here in America, we call it soccer. But come to find out, some of the earliest people playing the game actually nicknamed it soccer. You know what? I'm standing on that like I know it's true. I don't. I read one thing one time that said that, and now I'm like, that's the truth. That's what I'm going to tell everybody that listens to my podcast, that the people who originated, they called it football, but they also nicknamed it. So I don't know that to be true. Where did you read this, Chris? Wikipedia? Is Wikipedia not credible? I don't think it can't be credible if people can just go on there and type whatever they want. But I heard that, so you go research it. That's how you should run your show, Chris. Make a bunch of false claims and then tell the audience to go research it themselves. I'm not going to fact check myself live. That's smart. You guys figure it out. I don't know. Maybe they did nickname it soccer. That's what I heard. Okay, that's what this segment's going to be called. That's what I heard. Okay, so going back just a little ways, back to Tuesday, June 16th, you got France over Senegal 3-1. And I do love this about soccer. I do love that the more they score, is like, it's better for them overall, because if you get in a tie with someone, that's the next category that they're going to look at, is who had the most goals for, which is kind of cool and unique because it gives the teams incentives to rack up the score. If you can beat Senegal 10-0, beat them 10, you know what I mean? Like, go for it. So anyways, France over Senegal 3-1, Norway over Iraq 4-1, Argentina over Algeria, and guess who? Messi with the freaking hat trick. What do they say? He's 38 years old. That's just incredible. Unbelievable. You know, like I've seen both guys play. It's the two that everybody always argues. Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lionel Messi. And I just don't see how you can make an argument, like a legitimate, sane, educated argument, that Ronaldo is better than Messi. That just, it's not true. And I just feel like that's a thing that people just maybe say that, you know, they're trying to get a rise out of people. There's just no way. I'm not taking anything away from Ronaldo, but Messi was just on another level. I mean, he's not what he used to be, of course, but he's scoring hat tricks in the World Cup. Granted, they played Algeria, but, you know, a few days later, or maybe, Portugal played. Ronaldo didn't get a hat trick. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So anyways, Austria over Jordan 3-1. Portugal over DR Congo. I don't know what the DR stands for. No, they weren't over. They tied 1-1. England over Croatia. That must have been, I think that was the one where the people were at the bar all day. Got thrown out. That's fucking awesome. What a story to tell. Ghana over Panama 1-0. Colombia over Uzbekistan 3-1. Chechnya over ties with South Africa 1-1. Switzerland over Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's cut off there, so I don't know how to say the rest. 4-1. Canada over Qatar 6-0. That's what I'm talking about. Rack up the score. There's the incentive right there. Mexico over South Korea only 1-0. That's a defensive game right there. That's pretty amazing. USA over Australia 2-0. As I said, Morocco over Scotland 1-0. Brazil over Haiti 3-0. Paraguay over Turkey 1-0. What did I do? Who did I just click? Netherlands over Sweden 5-1. Germany over Côte d'Ivoire. Sorry, y'all. That's the best I got. Oh, I was watching a little bit of that Japan-Tunisia game at 11 p.m. last night. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I mean, like, that's kind of the thing about Friday nights, and, like, I mean, really any night, but especially, like, Friday night, Saturday night. You know, I build up all these, you know, especially hockey season that just ended. I like have all these games I'm watching, you know, over the course of the night, but they all really kind of start at the same time, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So it's like by 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm just done. I don't have anything else to watch. You know, I can watch highlights, I can, you know, whatever, but, you know, the event's over. The fun is gone. So it was actually kind of cool, like, after watching a full day of sports last night, you know, that's when I watched UFC. I watched a little bit of baseball, not very much of baseball at all, but a little bit of baseball, you know, and just kind of did my thing for the rest of the night. I'm like, 11 p.m., they're playing Japan? That's awesome. That's perfect. So that was what was on my TV as I passed out, which was cool that it was actually a live competitive game. Well, I mean, I say competitive. They beat them 4-0. Watched a little bit of Spain, Saudi Arabia today. Spain takes that one 4-0. Belgium and Iran tie 0-0. I guess the red card next to the name means they got a single person with the red card, I'm assuming. Uruguay, Cabo Verde tie 2-2. Egypt over New Zealand 3-1. Tomorrow at noon. Damn it. I want to watch this one. Argentina versus Austria. I mean, all eyes on Argentina, right? I want to watch Messi just dominate, dude. So as far as standings are concerned, I mean, I'll just give you the tops. I mean, there's so many groups, dude. Like, this is the part about, like, when you get into Premier League that I've never understood. I want to support soccer. Like, I really do. I love sports in general just being played at their highest level, but the way they do the tournaments and the way they do the season is so damn confusing. I guess I've really never dug that deep into it to, like, be like, okay, this is actually how it... I mean, my brother could tell me everything I need to know, but it feels like unless I'm writing it down, I'm just going to forget it all. Anyways, so yeah, I guess there's not that many. Let's just go with the number one in each group. Group A is led by Mexico. Group B is led by Canada. Group C is led by Brazil. Group D is led by USA. Group E is led by Germany. Group F is led by the Netherlands. Group G is led by Egypt. Good for them. Group H is led by Spain. Group I is led by Norway. Group J led by Argentina. Group K led by Colombia. Group L is led by England. And some of these later teams, they've only played one game, so there's still some time to spare. But yeah, dude, it's been fun. I'm really enjoying it. You know, I was pumped when USA scored. That was early on. Seems like we got a pretty damn good team, you know. I'm looking forward to the next one. I guess, what do you do about the Argentina game? Where can you watch that? Only on Fox? Am I going to have to, like, set up a TV and and a cable box at my desk to be able to watch it? That's not going to work. Anyways, let's go ahead and have another drink. Cheers, everybody. I don't know what's sweating more, me or my beer. All right, moving on real quick before this episode ends. MLB. That does not say MLB. Let's go over some standings here because, man, it seems like I keep getting up on my Rangers. I'm like, yeah, that's good. We finally got back to 500, and then we just shit the bed like the next two series. It fucking sucks. American League East is led by the Yankees, 605 winning percentage. A .605, excuse me. American League Central is led by the Guardians with a .526 winning percentage, followed closely by the White Sox. That's pretty good. Keep going, White Sox. American League West, that's my division with my Rangers, led by the Mariners with a .506 winning percentage. Yeah, I mean, my Rangers 37-40. We were just at 500. We just can't get over it. Can't get over the hump. National League East is led by the Braves with a .632 winning percentage, dude. What the fuck are they drinking in Atlanta? National League Central, the Brewers winning percentage, still freaking impressive, .613. And National League West, you knew it was going to be the Dodgers, didn't you? .628 winning percentage, but the Braves, still the best. Yeah, that's the best record in baseball. I mean, that's the best winning percentage in baseball. So good on them. Games happening today. I don't know who my Rangers played. I don't know. Mariners won. That's bad for my Rangers. Angels won. That's bad for my Rangers. Rangers won. That's good for my Rangers. Astros won. That's bad for my Rangers. Tigers actually beat the White Sox. That's good for the Tigers in their division with the White Sox. Brewers beat the Brave. Dude, I should have watched that game. I'm upset actually now that I'm reading it that I didn't watch that game. Those are the top two teams in the MLB right now. That would have been such a good game to see. Don't worry, tomorrow's a new day, Chris. Are they playing again tomorrow? No. So that must have been the last game of the series. I could go back and look, but I'm not going to. I wonder who won that series. I'm just going to say the way the standings are, I'd go with Atlanta, I guess. But I could be wrong. Who knows? So yeah, a little bit of baseball there. Haven't gotten too deep into it, though. I do have the itch to watch. I'm really moving over to baseball mode. But yeah, I mean, just the World Cup has just taken over, man. It's been fun to read all the stories, see all the people visiting, see all the positive. You know, there's a guy who actually came out and, you know, I take it with a grain of salt. You know, we know everybody's just making insane videos or trying to say outrageous stuff for their channel so they can get all the views and all this and that. I can honestly say I don't do that with this podcast. I might say some stupid things a lot of the time, but that's just because I'm stupid. I'm not trying to be outlandish. I'm not trying to shock jock you to death. I'm just dumb, okay? No, but seriously, I couldn't really tell if this guy was being sincere or not, but basically, like, he seems sincere in his video, so we'll just go ahead and take it for what it is. But he was basically saying, like, he's apologizing to Americans and all the propaganda and all, you know, everything that's made America look bad and people calling it a shithole and saying it sucks here and God, I'd hate to live in America. It's so like, he's basically taking all that stuff and being like, dude, you guys have been so wronged. It's awesome here. He's like, I don't want to go home. It's like, damn, dude, that's a huge compliment. You know what I mean? After years of abuse, man, from the world, dude, like, yeah, it was kind of cool. So I hope he was sincere. It seems sincere. Or everybody's just laughing at him because they know his shtick or whatever. But it seems sincere. So that's how I'm taking it. Whether he meant it that way or not, I don't know. That's all I got. Let's have another drink. Cheers, everybody. I wish that wasn't my last Stella. I'm actually a little upset. I really need to go re-up. And I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some rum. I'm going to probably do a couple of different things and just really stock up. I might do a little 6-pack of Stella. Those will be my little special drinks when I'm feeling special. I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna do some 100 proof rum again, dude. I still have some of that bottle left, and yeah, it gets the job done. And then I always got to do my claws whenever I'm feeling like I need to be doing a little bit better on my diet. You know, the beers are like, the Stella is like the cheesecake that I can have once a week. You know what I mean? The White Claws are kind of like, I don't know, what's a sugary fruit? Like a grape or something, you know what I mean? They're kind of like my grapes. They're not the best fruit for me, but it's still fruit. Could be worse. I could be eating bars of chocolate. Not the best. And then my, what would you consider the rum? I don't even know. Gasoline. That's the gasoline to fuel my car. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. None of this is making sense. But I thank you guys for listening. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash, a Waymo if it's in your area. Dude, I saw this video the other day of this chick. She was taking a Waymo. And she was just like singing and dancing and being just kind of obnoxious. in the car, which is fine, you know, like she's having a good time by herself. I applaud that. But they actually came over the intercom in the car to tell her to put on her seatbelt, or they were like going to shut the ride down. So it like totally pissed on her party, because she's in there singing, having a good time, and they cut off the music. They're like, ma'am, we noticed you didn't have your seatbelt on. For this ride to continue, you're going to need to put that seatbelt. And it just totally killed her vibe. She was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. And she clicked her seatbelt on, and, you know, that was the end of that. But yeah, it totally killed her vibe. It was pretty damn funny how, like, she was just having such a great time, and then just humbled her in like a half a second. But yeah, as always, don't drink and drive. Get a Waymo. Just be sure to put your seatbelt on. Or what happens if they terminate the ride, though? That's kind of got me thinking a little bit. Does she just have to sit on the side of the road in the Waymo? And what does she do? Like, just get out and the Waymo will drive on us and like, order another one? It's kind of crazy. But that's smart, you know. I was even talking about this a couple of weeks ago. The amount of insurance that they probably have to pay on these, like, automated taxis is probably out fucking outrageous, dude. Like, just think of all the things that could go wrong. You know what I mean? Like, all the things that could get trashed within the vehicle if someone's unhappy. What if that lady had a worse attitude? What if she would have been like, fuck you, I'm not putting on my seatbelt, and started fucking the car up? I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to get that fixed before it goes out and picks anyone else up, you know? So, I mean, that's their burden to bear. I just kind of think about it and, like, it can't be cheap, you know? So anyways, let's go ahead and finish these off. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right. That's going to do it for me. I will talk to you all next week. I love you all. Bye!